Hey everyone, stick with the Us versus Herd. If it's your first time here, like the content, hit subscribe. If you want to get notifications from when we go live, tap the bell. We go live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before market open. If you want to join the UVH fam, our community, links are below in the description as well to our Discord and our options trading group on Facebook. If you're here right now, say what up, say good morning, how we doing, what is going on. Right now we have the S&P's up 86, Dow's up 644, NASDAQ up 183. Getting kilt out here. Keith, Jesse, Lyon, Kevin, Christopher, Micah, Reggie, Anson, Daniel, Rob, Faiz, what's going on? So, man, this is gonna be a crazy gap down day. What's going on, Dut? How we doing? It was I thought we were gonna go lower today. I didn't think it was gonna get hit this bad. But we had a lot of reporting come out this morning, and I think the market was going up, and it's like why are we going up? But however, I personally, I don't think this quarter is the one that we need to be worried about. I think next quarter is the one that we need to be worried about, because Q1, if you think about Q1, we were only shut down for basically 2 weeks out of Q1. We were only shut down, let's say, mid-March and end of March. End of March was end of Q1. So now we're starting off Q2. Q2, we've already been shut down for 2 weeks. We're at a minimal going till April 30th. So, I think it's going to be interesting, next quarter. This quarter, I think this quarter is kind of priced in, and like I've been saying, I think we're going to be, the market right now is trying to find an acceptable range to kind of to trade within or move between, right? And right now it seems like if we're looking at SPY, I'm thinking we're gonna ping between like 250 and 280 for a while until we can find a bottom, unless something really bad happens. But I'm thinking on SPY we're gonna be pinging between 250 280. It didn't hit my target. I thought SPY, it hit 284 yesterday, 284, almost 285. I thought SPY was gonna come up to like the 288 290 area, but it just didn't. It was too weak. It couldn't do it. If you guys could do me a favor, hit the like button. What's going on, Joe? So starting off the morning here, we have obviously bad reports this morning. So bunch of reports today. I wasn't really sure how to play these because we've been going up on bad reports. We have weekly jobless tomorrow. We had retail, but it appears that the market is starting to understand that this is pretty serious. U.S. retail sales suffered a record drop in March as mandatory business closures to control the spread of the novel coronavirus. The outbreak set up consumer spending for its worst decline in decades. Retail sales plunged 8.7% in March, the biggest decline since the government started tracking the series in 1992, which means it's beating out the Great Recession, right? Then we're looking at here, New York Manufacturing Index here, came in negative 78.2 versus the expected 32.5. The worst the index has ever seen in the history of the index. The worst it has ever seen is negative 34.3. So we're more than double that number. We're more than double that number right now. Negative 34.3 was during the financial crisis in 2008, 2009, and right now we are double that number. So, I think this is something to be taken very, very seriously. And the longer that we're shut down, it's not going to get improved. And if this damage is only done in like 2 weeks, it's bad. It's bad, Well, now we've been shut down for a month, but it's real bad. I want to see how the Fed is going to react and keep their end of the deal up. Yo, Alex, Mr. Morris, Joe, what's going on? Tan, Hank. Tomorrow, all-time highs with the 50% layoff. I mean, yeah, I mean, the report's gonna be bad. The report's gonna be bad, but I don't know. We've been rallying every single Thursday. We've been rallying hard, hard. Will this be the one we don't? I don't know. Airline stocks should pop in the event. So yeah, we can talk about airline stocks. Airline stocks did reach a deal with the U.S. government, and that's why they popped all last night. Looks like it's fading pretty good here. UAL, DAL, AAL. Looks like they're all fading here. Pretty good. So popped up to 27, coming back down to 25. So it's just it still looks bearish. You know, the airlines are it's gonna be bad. I mean, no one's able to travel, no one's able to go anywhere. It's bad. It's bad. I bought some puts on the yo, Lucas, what's going on airlines? Daniel, today's Wednesday, yo. Yeah, no, I'm just saying. We were talking about Daniel Edwards. We were talking about the weekly job reports. I'm not talking about rallying today. We were talking about the job reports for tomorrow. All right, so we kind of knew this was going to happen because JP Morgan, but all the banks reported basically 40 to 50% in profits, down profits. So they're down 46%. First quarter profit dropped 46%, and keep in mind this was only for 2 weeks. So the longer that we're shut down, the more this is gonna hurt, you know. And at least they still made profits, you know. Even though profits are down 50%, I mean they're still, you know, that's the banks for you, you know. So basically they came in at 311 a share, missing the 335 a share estimate. While results were dragged down by losses in debt and equity holdings, same thing that we saw for JP Morgan. You know, this is the same exact thing. And then if we're looking at here, Bank of America, 45% decline in profits as well. And I had a couple, you know, they pretty much are mirroring what's going on. So that's why it was a pretty safe trades. I thought so. I'm in Bank of America right now. So Bank of America, I have a strangle on. A short straddle. I have a short straddle on right now. And what I was looking at for Bank of America here, I have a short straddle. I actually already put my order in for $1. Bank of America, I sold at the money calls and puts 23.5. What I needed to come down to, basically, basically, I think the number's a little bit wrong this morning. Basically, I needed it to stay. This is not right. Basically, I needed to stay above 21.5 yesterday. So I'm probably I needed to be above 21.5, not 22.5. To basically stay profitable on this. So basically it's at 22.5 right now. So, you know, we'll be making a little bit of money. I got a on that trade. I got a $1.53 credit. I'm looking to buy it back for $1. So just making like $50. I just put the order in. We'll see if it hits. Goldman Sachs. Now Goldman Sachs, I sold a butterfly on Goldman Sachs. I did get a 385 credit. So let me pull up what that looks like here, just so you can see Goldman Sachs. So this is, oops, that's not what I want. Okay, so I sold the 175 call, bought 2 of the 185 calls, and sold the 187.50. And basically my target on this was around 170 area. I don't know if this is gonna, yeah, 170. You know, we'll be making, I think this is a little low. I think we'll be making around like 180 or so around the 170 area. So we'll be making $180 profit. Let's see if we can. Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is like 200. I think we'll be making like 180, 200 on this trade right now. If it's at right now, is Goldman Sachs is at 171. So pretty much hitting my targets for 170. I'm probably gonna put an order in here. So I got what did I get here? I got a 385 credit. Probably gonna put in an order here for, let's put an order in for open here. I do have next week expiration. I'm just going to close the full thing, and we're going to close it out at 185. We'll call it. We'll put it in there for. We'll try to get 175 for it. It's probably a little bit low, but it's probably a little bit low. So I'll try to get 175 for it. Okay. So I just put that order in. Just put that order in. So what I'm looking at here, Goldman Sachs, I bought it for 380. I shorted it, I guess. I got 385 in credit. I'm looking to buy it back for $1.75. So we're going to be making, if this fills, 210 profit once the market opens here. So we'll see if it fills. For these earning trades, for the earnings trades, what I like to do is try to calculate my profit beforehand and try to put my order in, because sometimes you don't know which way the market's going to go, and if you're already in a winning position, no sense of me trying to milk out that extra $175. So what I'm just going to try to do is be reasonable, get out at my exits here. At 170, it's at 171 right now. It might drop down. Goldman Sachs, I thought was going to come down to like right here, which is right 171, 172 area right now. I do think that Goldman Sachs probably going to be testing like the 160, 150 range, within the next couple weeks here. Banks have room to drop. Yep. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, just going over my trades here. So I'm looking. So I sold some credit in the banks. We made a little bit of money. We made a little bit of money yesterday on JP Morgan, selling some credit in there. So that's why I was selling some more credit in Goldman Sachs. 'Cause I didn't think it was going to move a lot, especially like Bank of America. That's why I sold out the money. I thought it was just going to come down to like the 22, 23 range down in here, and that's exactly where we're at right now. We're at 22 and a half. So I didn't think it was going to move a lot. They were pricing in, it was going to be moving, Bank of America was going to be moving almost $2. I didn't see that happening. So that's why I went with shorting some premium on there versus just buying outright puts, And also shorting premium is a bit safer if we get a little bit of IV crush. What happened on my implied volatility study? Come on. Where's my implied volatility study? Let's see where we're at. There we go. There we go. Okay, so implied volatility died a little bit yesterday. I noticed that in the morning the puts were a lot more expensive, and then later in the day the puts got a lot cheaper. Even though Bank of America was coming down yesterday, but it had this flattening out period between like around the 23.5 area. Yo, Mason, what's going on? Roku. Yeah, let's talk about Roku. We went through the reports, we went through the banks, we went through Sahil. Yeah, let's talk about Disney too. I was looking at buying a put yesterday, and I wish I did, but I didn't. The reason why I did it because I was like, I'm pretty heavy on the banks right now. I don't know how much more I want to get involved for. If we have another green day tomorrow, Disney's. I wanted to short Disney, but let's look at Roku for sure. So Roku is at 102 now. So it popped above the 50-day, but now it's under. So the 50-day is at basically 102.89 area. I guess it's sitting on it right there. So I guess the question is it going to cross back under, or are we going to pop back up? I'm guessing we're going to come back down to like the 90 area on Roku. So just be careful. You don't want to short Disney? Why? They're not making any money. Shorted Disney last week, worked out pretty well. I shorted that Disney Plus pop. Disney Plus numbers pop worked out really well actually. I think it's okay to short certain companies as long as you're careful. As long as you're careful. Disney. Disney is, if you're looking here, I mean, it is trending up. I was looking for it to hit 108 yesterday. I was going to short it. It didn't. It only hit. And I was talking about the afternoon when it recovered. It only hit like 107.15 area, 107.10, and then just kind of died. So it was showing some weakness in the close there, but now we're at 103. So I definitely wish I bought that 107 put. That 107 put yesterday. If I bought a weekly, it was only going for $2, $2.50. So it would have been, what are you going to trade next week? Next week, 107 put would have been going for about $4. So not terrible. Not terrible for giving you 10 days on that trade. So, but Disney, I mean, I think they're probably going to settle. I mean, they like anything above like 105. It's been struggling with. As you can see, as it popped up here, 105 came back down, popped up a 105. Now it's coming back down. So I think that it was looking a little bit bullish here, but I don't think it's going to hold. As travel takes a beating, as their parks are closed, it's going to take a beating. Now, if you want to, like, for me, I might be buying shares around the 90 area, 95 area, just because like that's where it has solid support. Disney has solid support at the 90 area, and I'm talking about multi-year support. We have multi-year support on Disney. If we go back to the 5-year chart here, this is a very, very, very comfortable range for Disney right in here. So, if you're shorting it at 90, you're going to have some trouble. You're going to have trouble because there's a lot of support. A lot of support at 90. And that's why a lot of people, like I noticed in the Discord, were shorting Disney when it was like 95 and 90, and we're struggling because it's there's a certain point in time where the juice gets harder to squeeze. Juice is very easy to squeeze when you're at 140 and coming back down. Juice is a lot harder to squeeze when you're at 90 and 95 and trying to short it. You know what I mean? So that's why, that's kind of what I mean by like the juice being easier to squeeze, is that if you're short at 110, if you're short at 130, 140, it was definitely a lot easier than shorting down at 90. Like people get so used to like rinsing and repeating, like, oh, I made a lot of money on this one stock. Rinse and repeat. I made a lot of money on this one stock. Rinse and repeat. That's not how it works. Eventually, if you keep doing that, the same thing, you're going to get burned. So just because you shorted Disney from 130 down to 90 doesn't mean that strategy is going to keep working. So you always have to reevaluate your strategy. I know it gets pretty easy to rinse and repeat, but you have to break yourself. I mean, I fall into it as well, and that's why it's okay. Like that's why you're going to have to like rotate tickers out a little bit. If you start losing, let's say you made a lot of money on Disney, you don't want to give it all back when it comes back up in here because you continue shorting. So you want to trade out those tickers to easier targets like Roku. Easier target like Roku right now. This is a much easier target. I did XLF, much easier target. When it came up here to 23, we shorted it. So there's easier targets right now than Disney at 90. So if Disney comes back to 90, I don't think I'm going to be shorting it. But have you seen a good setup for USO, possibly June expiration? So I would, as it's coming down, what was it this morning? USO, I think it's bottoming out down here in like the 4 area. I think it's bottoming out down in the 4. I've actually been looking at this myself, USO. I was thinking maybe like the July or August, or I guess they don't have August, July or October, and buying like the 5 strike calls or the 4 strike, either the 4 strike or the 5 strike. I mean, for October, 5 strikes only 73 cents. The only thing that was kind of holding me back on this whole thing is if you look at these percentages here. I mean, implied volatility is rather high right now on USO. And if we have a slow move up, if we start having a slow move up on USO, it's going to be going towards your target, but you're going to end up having to average down that position because the premiums are going to get cheaper. So right now, Look at how this is the implied volatility chart. Look at how high implied volatility is, and this look how low this has been. So this is what it normally is, and it's extremely high right now. Extremely high for October to see a 71% implied volatility. Weeklies are 100 to 130% on the weeklies right here. May is at 112% IV, which is extremely high. So I mean, you could do a couple things that you could kind of offset the losses for. You can, like, what I would maybe do is, let's say we go up to like October, and let's say you want to be bullish. What you can do, you can sell a couple of these here and then buy a couple of the 5 strikes. So you collect a little bit of premium as it's going up. So let's say you want to do 2 of those, and then you wanted to do 2 or 3 of these, or we could do 2 or 3 of these, or 5 or whatever. So what you can do to help you out, or you could do like 3. We could do like 3. So this will cost you about like $600 in buying power. Max loss, they're saying, is 912 if it goes against you. What I would say here is if you did sell some naked puts on USO for October, I think the benefit, if it does go lower, you could buy you could buy 200 shares of USO at $800 at $4, which is not bad. I mean, sure, you're going to lose a little bit here, but you'll be able to collect this premium, and then it will offset your losses on the calls a little bit, and then you just kind of wait. And then what you can do is you can sell some more calls against it as it's moving up, so you can do that as well. So I mean, I would be looking at something similar to this. Either I would buy stock outright, or I would sell some puts to cover that IV crush. You want to be able to, right now IV is really high, so you want to be able to cover that IV crush, and you need to get it back somehow, But you can do something similar to this, and you can obviously ramp up the calls. If you're a firm believer in it, you can do like 5 calls, and then you can sell like 3 of these. This will set you up. And now this trade is more of like this trade is going to be more of like a long-term trade. You don't want to do this trade if you want to get out within the next week. You don't have to go this big either. It's up to you. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. But this is going to cost you about $1,000, in total, which I think has a pretty good risk to reward. Sell some puts. I mean, this is extremely bullish, but you're gonna collect some. I kind of like it. You collect some premium on the $4 puts, offset the IV crush, and then this moves back up to like the 8 area. I mean, you got a 50 delta. You got a 50 delta moving up to the 8 area. I mean, I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty good for that. I think I would rather do this position than buy stock, but I might even do it. But this is a trade that I like. I've been looking to get long oil. Implied volatility was so high yesterday. I need a green day on USO for it to get crushed a little bit, but that might not happen. So we may just sell some puts in here, and XLF is a good buy. I'm short XLF right now. But yeah, October sell some puts. I mean, and then you got 184 days for this to kind of recover. And if not, then you made some money selling some puts. It's like, if it just stays the same here, But that's kind of what I'm looking at. And then you can kind of roll things out and see how things go as well. Average down some of the calls. I mean, if it just sits here, you can bleed out, and you can sell some more premium in here. You can buy more calls. I mean, I think it's a rather good setup. Gold GLD. So I was looking at that yesterday. So if we look at GC, if we look at yesterday, I mean, it was wild. If you look at this, I mean, it went up to 1788 and dropped like a rock, and then it's been downtrending. So I don't know why it spiked so high. And look at the volume. Volume was pretty incredible as well. Let's see if GLD had the same sort of movement. I was looking at that yesterday. Yeah, GLD spiked up. nice volume, 164, and then downtrended. So, I mean, this is crazy. Let's see, it's at 161 right now. So it would be interesting to me if it comes back down like under the 157.5 area. I don't want to short gold, and I don't feel comfortable going long it. So I'm at a kind of like a weird place as well. Like most stocks is like you don't want to go short, but you don't want to go long either. What news could cause a big sell-off across the markets? Well, right now we're finally getting some data from the coronavirus shutdown, and that is what is impacting the markets today. Yeah, Key, sell some puts on USO, baby. Sell some puts. Yeah, but guys, if you could do me the favor, hit the like button. I would appreciate it. If you're new here and you haven't said a word and you just watch, say what up. I like to get to know everybody. You know, we're a pretty tight community here. Let's see here. Hank, did you mean BlackRock, BLK? Yo, Colin, what's going on? What's going on? Colin, you gotta close some of your bearish positions. Yo, Danny Lurk Squad, OBX. Let's see, I did miss one comment here. IAU, Reggie, IAU. So you're long. Yeah, I mean that's a tough that's gonna be a tough trade. You know, when you see charts like this, the thing is what you're asking. I mean, obviously you're trading gold here. You know, one thing I ask when you see a ramp like this is when it's gonna pull back. You know, like Amazon as well. Amazon, for example, like when's it gonna pull back a little bit? It's gonna pull back eventually. Right now, probably. What is it up? Is it up this morning or down? It's down $30. So. However, now that Amazon has broke through a key area of resistance, there's going to be a lot of buyers when it pulls back. I closed this a while back. Phew, I was worried about you. I was like, man, Colin's getting. Well, but I'm not saying you did this, but there's a lot of people that are stubborn and they hold on to their shorts and their short positions, and they lose all their profit that they had. You know. I miss when you talk about BAC. Do you think earnings will be lower than expected for them? Oh yeah, Keith, they missed earnings. I think that their stock's not going to move a lot. That's why I sold a straddle. Mason, you're talking about me. I don't like to say names here. But now that you have come forward willingly, yeah, I mean, I think in this trading, I mean, we're gonna fall into bad habits. Things happen. You make money, you lose money. But overall, this whole thing's gonna be an amazing learning experience that you get to experience as a trader. Like you can't really become a good trader when the market is green every single day. Like that's not how it works, man. Bank of America has fallen like a rock. GS, I got my orders in. I don't know if Bank of America is gonna fill. We'll see what happens on that. But yeah, right now I'm short the straddle at 23. I'm still in the profit zone, but we'll see. If it drops below 21, we're gonna have some trouble. Market's opening in just like 30 seconds. Yeah, I mean, Ariana, just making sure you're green at the end of the year. I mean, the most important thing is just try to be green at least monthly. You know, you may have a bad week, chalk it up, have a bad week, but try to maintain green monthly. If you have a bad week, you can't have another bad week. You can only afford one bad week. Like for me, the way that I've done my calculations is I can only afford one bad week in a month. I can only afford, like if I'm day trading, really only one red day in the week, unless I have an enormously green day, but trying to stay consistent, I can only afford one red day during the week. If I notice if I have more than one red day, I'm gonna have some trouble. Okay, let's See what it do. I need some contracts to get traded here. But yeah, Bank of America is dropping. Well, but Goldman Sachs hit my 170 target right now. Need premiums to come down a little bit here. XLF we're up a little bit of money on. So we're up. We're up a little bit of money right now. So if we kind of take a look here, we're up on Goldman Sachs. We're up on XLF. We're down a few bucks on Bank of America. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I'll just only down like 11. Are we gonna bounce here? What's going on? What's going on? Probably close out Bank of America and try to squeeze some more juice out of Goldman Sachs. I think that's what we're gonna do. Not wanting to fill here. Okay, I got out. So I took so Bank of America came out with a $16 loss right now. Now, Bank of America, because I feel like it's going to fall through a lot. However, the Bank of America is offset by XLF right now. So XLF looking pretty good. Probably going to be closing out XLF as well. Man, Netflix is ramping up. XLF, we're back in zone here. So let me close out XLF. Okay, so XLF. All right, XLF, we made 88. Yo, Jimmy, what's going on? Glad you're here. Now, Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs premiums are like all over the place because it's not as liquid. So we'll see what happens with Goldman Sachs, but it's trying to rip. I close out XLF. See if we can get. I also on Goldman Sachs I have next week's expiration, so I'm not in a big rush. What did I have for XLF? XLF I was trading May. I was trading out May, so I was able to capture those deltas pretty nice. What's a bad week, Christopher? 5%, 10% loss. I mean, a bad week is red in general. I mean, the whole idea is for us to make money. You know what I mean? Like, we need to make money. Premiums are starting to come in a little bit right now for Goldman Sachs. They weren't crushed. So the straddle on Bank of America didn't work, but I only lost $16 and I offset it with an XLF short. So that worked out. Not a big winner. Let me try to collect some. Let me try to get out of Goldman Sachs here. Because it hit my target. It's not filling my order. Let's get this premium. Feel the butterfly. It is not filling yet here. Let's try it. Let's try one last one, and then we're just gonna have to sit on it. All right, looks like we're gonna have to sit on it. Try to get 250 for it. And they do not want to fill it. They do not want to fill Goldman Sachs. All right. So we're just gonna hang tight. for next week. It's for next week expiration. This is one of the problems though. You got to be careful of. This is like next week expiration. Not as many contracts have been traded yet, so getting into a little trouble here. Yo, Trevor, what's going on? Glad you're here. So we'll see what happens with Goldman Sachs. We did make a little bit of money on XLF. We lost money. I guess we could have kept Bank of America because it's ramping back up right now. And Netflix is ripping pretty hard. I was hoping it comes back. I was hoping it came back down to the 400 strike today, and I was able to buy another 400 call. But I guess that was wishful thinking. Costco, I'm actually short around 310 area. That came down a little bit, but it's moving back up. So, looks like they're going to try to ramp this up a little bit. I mean, the S&Ps are down still 68, Dow's down 574, and Nasdaq's down 143. So, what's Apple doing here right now? Apple's at 282. Apple's down 1.5%. Microsoft's down almost 2%. Crazy. So, kind of my priorities today. I need to get out of Goldman Sachs. So it looks like they want to ramp this up a little bit. We'll see what happens here. Daniel, you got a GS fill? Were you in next week expiration, or were you in this week? Okay, so man, Tesla. Man, Netflix is ripping to 423 right now. Tesla got upgraded by Goldman Sachs last night, and they're up another 5% right now. They hit 762 pre-market. I mean, that's insane. So probably going 800, right? With those upgrades pushing it. All right, let's just try to get out of Goldman Sachs and call it a day. Let's just try to get out of here. So I feel like they're gonna try to ramp this and screw me. Okay, so we got a fill on Goldman Sachs here. Wasn't as much credit as I wanted to, but I wanted to get out. So I did make 87. I did make 87 on GS. We made 88 on XLF. Lost $16 on Bank of America. So for GS, put on for 385. Got a 298 fill. Went a little high. I put a $3 order in. Filled me in for 298. So I was looking for closer to $2, but appears not to want to cooperate with me because it's probably gonna go back down. But I just wanted to get out of this trade. If it moves higher, we can look at to get in another position. Same with like XLF. I mean, took those profits already. If this can kind of come back up to the 23 area, 22.5, look to get short again. So I just want to keep it rolling with the financials because I feel like they're gonna try to screw us. The lower the banks go, I mean, the more attractive they get. So I just want to be careful of that. But for Goldman Sachs, I might short some more. If it pops back up to like the 175 area, I might look to short some more Goldman Sachs as well, 178 as well. So 175, 178 is target to the long side, and maybe short some more. So, we're up like 150 this morning. Not great, but not getting my face ripped off either. What do you think about Netflix puts? Yeah, I don't think you should do it. They have earnings on Tuesday. You got to. If you haven't traded Netflix, I've traded Netflix for many years. It always runs, not saying always, but a big percentage of the time it runs before earnings. It runs hard before earnings, and you just got to be careful. Around earnings times, Netflix becomes unreasonable because all these people. I mean, Netflix used to be the meme stock. It used to be the Zoom. It used to be the Tesla. A lot of people love trading Netflix, And there's a lot of hype around earnings. Now, whether it's good or bad, a lot of times it screws people. You know, a lot of times they do great, but Netflix, people love Netflix because it's one of the biggest returners of this decade, of the last 2 decades. I mean, it's made like 50,000% returns in the last couple decades, you know, last 15 years or 10 years, whatever. So just be mindful. I don't short Netflix, and I don't typically trade Netflix earnings. I usually trade before and I trade after Netflix. One time I I kind of learned my lesson. One time I iron condored Netflix for earnings quite a few years ago, and I got wrecked. Max loss. It was heartbreaking, but I'm glad I had that experience, and it really helped me out in my strategy and stuff like that. AMD. Let's look at AMD. It looks like they might want to try to push these banks up. So that's why, like for an earnings trade, if you're profitable, you're successful, like GTFO, you can always reshort later. You don't have to suck all the premium out. Always looking for a little premium. And premium on the banks was actually relatively low anyway, so it's a little bit harder to suck out, especially when we have a down day like today. You know, implied volatility is a little bit higher today, so it's not necessarily helping out my short options positions. AMD, yeah, if you can get AMD down a little bit. If you can get AMD down to 50, come on. I know I'm asking for a big drop here, but I don't like to be a buyer. I don't want to short AMD, but I don't want to be a buyer right here. You know what I mean? I don't want to be a buyer right here. If we can come down to like 50, 51 area, I'd like to be a buyer, but we'll see. We'll see. Yo, what's going on? Ben C, what's going on? Hope you're staying off the Kennedy today. Don't go anywhere. 50 to 60 car pile up on the Kennedy this morning. We had some black ice, it seems. I woke up, there's freaking snow on the grass. I mean, what's going on here? Isn't it spring? When is spring's here, right? I get confused being locked in your house and snowing in mid-April. I don't know what's going on. I'm getting confused. Do you like Goodyear tire? I'm guessing no, because people aren't going to be going anywhere. I think it's going to come back down to the 5 area. Had a nice push with the rest of the market, but I mean, Goodyear tire was struggling way before the coronavirus, so I'd short that. Looks like a good short actually, but I don't know how liquidity is on these options. Right now, the market's been open almost 15 minutes and there's no volume on anything. I would not trade these options. You got a dollar wide spread on a single digit stock. It's not a good stock to trade options on. Not liquid. You're gonna get in big trouble. Man, look at that. Netflix got popped. It hit 424 and it popped down to 414. Dang. They popped that hard. What can we do? What can we do? SPG's coming down a little bit. SPG retail because the retail report this morning. That's not good. SPG, Simon Property Group. See if we can come back down here. I did add to my short position. I do have a debit spread on that's currently down. I'm getting some money back on there. I have a May 15th. I have the 30-35 put debit spread right now. So we'll see what happens with that. And Disney would have been good. Let's see how much those are going for. So yesterday, Disney, if I bought the weeklies, probably wouldn't have bought the weeklies though. I probably would have went for next week. So I was looking at the 107s. Let's see what these are up right now. They're actually up 40%. So yeah, these were going for $3.50 yesterday, around $3 to $4, up $5.55 now. Daniel, that's amazing. Yeah, that would have been a good trade. Looks like stocks are getting hit now. Looks like Goldman Sachs is getting hit now. Probably could have made some more money on that, but no point in trying to milk it. Man, that drop right here. If we look at SPY, just got slammed. SPY just got slammed from 278.20, 278.30 down to 276.79. Just got absolutely hammered. What planet is Tesla on? They're trying to get to Mars, right? Elon's trying to get to Mars, so I don't think it's Tesla's fault. I mean, I would say it's Goldman Sachs and all these people that are upgrading Tesla. Like, why are they upgrading Tesla right now? Oliver's up on 6% of SPXU. Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna be looking for some day trades here. Gonna try to take it easy. But had some nice trades on the banks, so that worked out well. Up basically about 150 overall on the banks today, this morning. So pretty nice earnings overnight hold. But yeah, I mean, like Goldman Sachs. I mean, this, you got to be careful about bars like this. You know, it looks like it could go up, but then it got smacked down hard. So you just got to be careful. Disney's down at 102 right now. What we got Tesla at? Tesla rest. Yeah, 735. It does like this 730 area. I got one PDD left to use. What would work? SPY went down because I said it would go up. We have a lot of bad data that came in today, so you want to be careful. But if you have one day trade today, you want to be careful. Use it very carefully. You know, if you only got one day trade. You know, if you're selling naked calls and naked puts, you know, you should really switch to a cash account for day trading. Then you can bypass the PDT rule. But yeah, kind of a slow open here. I mean, things try to rip up, and everything got hammered here. Everything got smacked down, ripped up. I mean, Netflix. Let's look at that 5 minute because it's the 15 minute. Netflix got, and that is crazy. I don't know if I could have stomached that 420 to 412 drop. and this is all in 5 minutes. This is a 5 minute candle right here. How do you bypass PDT rule? So I do have a video. I'll throw it in the chat here because I'm about to sign off. Let me grab this for you here. Let me get it for you. Let me get it. What's up with this guy? He's like, my parents thought I was doing drugs. I was selling drugs. Like, come on, man. But there's this video here called how to avoid the PDT rules with a small account. I'm going to drop the link right now for you. So you can just search us versus herd PDT as well. Us versus herd PDT, and this video will pull up right here, showing right here. That dude. Yeah, I know. He's the new. What was that guy's name? Jason Bond. I think Jason Bond like blew up his account in the options world, so he's had to take a back seat. But you know, you could search us versus herd PDT. But I'm going to take off. I'm going to look for some day trades here, refill my coffee mug. I'm going to be in the Discord, so I hope to see you guys in there. If you're not part of the Discord, hit the link in the description. Join the Discord. We hang out there. It is free 99. We don't charge a penny to hang out with us. Share your wins, share your losses, hug together, cry together. We'll be up in there, all right? As always, stay safe, stay green. It's us versus herd.